Hey there, welcome to my channel. This is Jinny and I really appreciate you stopping by. In this video, I want to share with you how I created my own glitter backgrounds. I'm starting with this background stamp. I love its versatility. It can be used for so many different occasions. The cardstock was die cut in the standard size of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm inking up the stamp using Memento's Tuxedo Black and then lay my cardstock on top. Then I push and press the cardstock into the stamp and carefully lift it up. Look how beautiful it is. Then I cover the whole background with double-sided tape. Here you can see where I lined up the tape. After taking off the release paper, I carefully put glitter on top. I tapped off the excess and rubbed the glitter into the cardstock. Here I used my bone folder to rub it in firmly to make sure that no glitter comes off later. You could lay the release paper on top while working, but I actually didn't bother using it. Then I tapped and rubbed off any excess. You can see that almost no glitter comes off. To clean my desk, I used a piece of dusting cloth. Now we're gonna add some colors to it. For coloring, I'm using alcohol markers. As you can see, I'm just putting on some dots. I don't flick or move the brush around. You can see here that almost no glitter transfers onto the brush tip. I've been making glitter backgrounds quite often lately, but I didn't notice any harm or damage on my brush tips. After coloring, I stamped it one more time using StazOn ink in jet black. Stamping the image the way I did, your outlines can be slightly offset, but it doesn't bother me. And here's a final look on that background. At the end of the video, I'm gonna show you the finished cards, but now I want to move on to the next background. For my second background, I covered the cardstock with double-sided tape, put those beautiful intricate dies on top, and ran it through my die-cut machine. I used heavyweight cardstock to make sure that the dies only cut through the release paper and not through the cardstock. Due to technical difficulties, the making of this background got lost. I'm so sorry for that. But I still want to show you the finished background and tell you quickly what I did. I have another background showing those steps, so maybe it's good to see the finished one first. I removed the whole release paper except the actual outlines of the snowflakes. Then I put and rubbed in the glitter into the cardstock just the way I did for my first background. For coloring, I used brown colors and the dots are definitely visible, but I think it gives a kind of textured look which looks really pretty. After coloring, I removed the outlines of the snowflakes, put on the glitter, and rubbed it in well again. Like I said before, if you work in the glitter really well, almost no glitter comes off. I then die cut it in 2 pieces. You can use painter's tape on it and the pattern won't be damaged at all. Now I'll show you the steps I went through for my second background. I covered the cardstock with double-sided tape, put the dies on top and ran it through my die cut machine. I used heavyweight cardstock so the dies didn't cut through completely. I ran out of glitter, so I had to trim down the background to a smaller size. Anyway, I'm removing the release paper except the outlines of the snowflakes. Here you can see all the sticky areas that are exposed. Then I put the glitter onto the cardstock and firmly rub it in. Again, I'm using my bone folder. The glitter that I'm using here is actually made for makeup, so it's very fine. Well, maybe too fine to be used as a craft item, but I wanted to film this and it was what I was left with. I tapped off the excess. I even took a piece of dusting cloth to wipe away excess glitter. As I mentioned before, this glitter is for face and body makeup, so it's too fine. But it looks quite unique. It doesn't look sparkly. Instead, it has a kinda pearlescent sheen to it. Now I'm applying the colors. This time I chose to use greens. In dotting motion, I added the color and tried not to flick or move the brush around. A very small amount of glitter actually transferred onto the brush tip. After completing the coloring process, I removed the outlines of the snowflakes. Then I put on the glitter and rubbed it in really well. I'm using my bone folder again to firmly rub it in. After wiping off the excess, this panel is finally finished. Here you can see the finished cards. I kept them simple so that the background can really stand out and shine. In fact, they are so easy to make that I didn't include the assembling process. The first background I just cut in half diagonally. Then I glued them down on top folding note cards, added black stripes, and stamped the sentiment. The second background I also turned into 2 cards. To add some dimension, I glued them down using some craft foam. I think the beautiful design of the dies really stand out here, and the sparkle is just gorgeous and eye-catching. You see that no glitter comes off. This panel I first matted on black cardstock, then glued that on a top folding note card, and stamped the sentiment. Because of the different texture of the glitter that I used, this panel isn't as sparkly as I expected, but it's pretty, so I'm fine with that. That's it for today, and sorry I couldn't show you how I made the second background. Well, technical difficulties happen sometimes. I hope you still enjoyed this video, and I also hope you'd consider subscribing to my channel, because I'm gonna make videos all about handmade cards, and I would love to have you joining me for the next one. My videos will be made in English and German, so the next one will be in German. So before you go, make sure you click the subscribe button, and that's it for now. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and hope to see you again next time. Bye!